to my kitchen, Gigi's Kitchen, where you get to learn all about cooking and dining and just having a general good time. This is an easy meal to throw together. You can do a big pot of it for when you have a lot of people. You can do a little pot of it when it's just a couple. So, but I am going to go over the ingredients right now, and I hope you can hear over my stove that's going. But my friend Julie asked me, she said, I saw your video and it's really good. And I said, thanks, I'm really enjoying doing these videos. And so she said, cook me something Cajun. I said, oh, okay, I got just the thing for you. So this is a combination of a little jambalaya, paella, and you can throw it together pretty easily. It's a one-pot meal. So we have chicken thighs that we have rolled in Cajun seasoning. You can just use your favorite Cajun seasoning that you want. And then they're put into the skillet, skin side down, to get them a little crispy and to kind of render the fat. Then we add in some sausage, and I have one andouille sausage that I've sliced and one smoked sausage because we like that smoky take. I have a green pepper and a red bell pepper here that I've cut in dices, and you can see how they have a half of a medium onion diced, 3 cloves of garlic I've pressed, some tomato paste, some green beans, which is traditional in paella, is to put in the green beans. You can put in mixed vegetables or corn or peas or whatever you want, but I go with green beans. And then of course we have our rice and our stock. And one thing that I want to talk about on rice is because everybody says, how do you cook rice? And I am very basic with rice. I go by the instructions on the package. Whatever you buy, read the instruction on the package. Because whatever company or type of rice it is, the instruction will be different. If it's long grain, arborio, jasmine, basmati, all of them, they all could be a little different. Mine is for 1 cup of rice, I am going to stir in 1 1/2 cup of water. So that is your ratio for this rice. But I would highly recommend when you get your rice, read the instructions on it and follow that instructions. So what I've done is I do a double batch of rice. I have 2 cups of rice and 3 cups of liquid. And I have 1/4 cup of wine in here, and the rest is stock. And it's very salty, so we don't need to add any salt to this dish. Also, our sausages are going to be salty, so we don't need to add salt to that. I'm already cooking chicken thighs, so we're moving on with this video and this cooking experience. So let's cook. So here's our chicken thighs, and they've been cooking. I have rolled them in the Cajun seasoning both sides, and they've been frying. See, look at that, nice and blackened and Cajun looking there. I'm gonna flip them over, let them go for a few more minutes. Then I will take them out and we'll plate them until I'm ready for them. I'm just going to let those go. All right, these look like they're ready to go. We're going to take them out and put them on the plate. Now, they're not done, but that's okay because they will finish cooking when I put the rice and everything on, put the lid on. If you want, you can take the bone out and cut them in half, and that will make your chicken parts go a little bit further for the meal. But for the demonstration purposes, I left them all intact. And these are huge thighs. As you can see, I've taken some of the fat out. I left a little bit in it. But now I just want to saute my sausages and my peppers and my onions a little bit all together at once. So here, and it doesn't matter the order you put them in. They can all go in. I do put the garlic in last just because that's the way I've always done it. I was always told garlic goes last so it won't burn. I'm just going to toss this around and let it kind of get a little brown on the edges. Let it sit there. Turn my flame up a little bit, so I'm about medium-high right now. So one of the things is this new skillet. I bought it somewhere, I don't even remember. But I wanted something non-stick that was really deep that I could use for this type of one pot cooking, I guess. But anyway, it's supposed to be this new ceramic stuff. I grew up with Teflon. I didn't know what all this new ceramic is about, so we'll see. It wasn't a bad price. Got a fancy handle, all that wood handle on it. I'm like, how's that going to hold up in an oven or a dishwasher? I don't know. Guess I won't be putting it in the oven. I usually don't buy a skillet or a pan I can't put in the oven as well as cook on the stove top with. Oh yeah, now I can start smelling that now. Now this andouille will be spicy. And so the smoked sausage will have the smoke taste to it. We can add a little bit of more of our Cajun seasoning to it. So I tell you what happened. So with Cajun seasoning, whenever we do Cajun, there's 3 things you have to have. You have to have green bell pepper, you have to have white onion, and you have to have celery. Those 3 things are the basis for most of the dishes. It's called the Trinity, the Holy Trinity, and they all go together. So I went to go prep all my vegetables and get this ready to go, and I didn't have any celery. I was like, oh my gosh. So I called my sister, she didn't have any celery. So I improvised, and I added celery seeds to my Cajun seasoning to put in there to hopefully give it that little bit of celery taste. I think you could use yellow onion if you wanted to, or Spanish onion, but it's those 3 things that are the mainstay. Celery, bell pepper, and onion. All right, I'm going to keep letting that fry. That's the only complaint I have about these Teflon non-stick ceramic skillets is they don't brown like a cast iron or stainless steel. Nothing sticks to them, that's nice. So now I'm going to put in my tomato paste. And I'm going to put in here a good tablespoon. That's probably actually about 2 tablespoons. And then I'm going to smear it around in there on top of everything and let it brown off. And sometimes when you're cooking with the tomato paste, so why it's in the Ziploc baggie is I open a can of tomato paste. I don't use the whole thing. I put it in the Ziploc baggie, then it goes back in the refrigerator, and then I use it again. Cooking tip of the day. There we go. And usually you can see the tomato paste turn color. It kind of turns more dark, more, I don't know. There we go. Now goes in the rice. And remember, this is 2 cups. Probably more than I need. We'll see. Hopefully it won't boil over on the stove. We're going to toss this all around. And now we're going to add our stock. All 3 cups, I'm going to put the lid on it and let it come to a good simmer. Once it comes to a good simmer, I'm going to put the chicken back in, put the green beans on, and put the lid on it and just let it go for the next 15 or 20 minutes. So that chicken is done and the rice is has absorbed all of this. Now I will say, you could do this with ready rice. The problem that I would recommend not to do it with ready rice is the fact that all your good flavorings, your wine and your chicken stock and your tomato seasoning, all of that is in there, and as the rice cooks, it will be absorbing all that liquid. If you have ready rice, you won't have the opportunity for the rice to absorb because it's already fully cooked. So the flavor isn't going to be quite as intense. Alright. Leave that right there. Just lid back on it and let it come to a simmer, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, so all our liquid in here is starting to simmer really well. That's what we want. Now I'm going to come back and add my green beans in. I'm probably not going to put the whole bag. That looks like plenty right there. That's about a half of the bag. It will be fine. And then I'm going to nestle these back down in there. I'd like to leave it where the skin's out, so maybe it'll retain some of its crispiness. Alrighty, there we go. And now I'm going to put the lid back on and turn the flame down on low. And we're going to let that go for about 15-20 minutes, and then we'll check. Green beans rise. And so let me set this aside, and then we'll serve it up. One of the things that I do want to say is that when this cooks up, hopefully if we did it right, the very bottom will have a crustiness to it called a sucrete. And that's what you're aiming for. You want that crusty bottom for the rice to toast and get done.